Sri Adi Shankara. Sri Adi Shankara is one of the brightest stars in the cultural and religious history of India. His name is permanently etched in the history of philosophy of the world, and his name is respectfully mentioned even by the philosophers outside India. Sri Shankara lived for just 32 years and travelled throughout the country propounding the philosophy of Advaita and bringing home the Vedic culture among the masses. A grateful cultural India stands amazed at this great monk for his achievements, and naturally he has become a legend and has been elevated to the level of divinity. Shankara put an end to the religious and social chaos by his magnetic personality and showed to the people of ancient India the innate character of the Vedic life as propounded in the Upanishads. Thus, he gave a new turn to the religious and social history of ancient India exactly when it was in need of it. As Swami Vivekananda, another great son of India, puts it, modern world looks at the contribution of this young sannyasi Shankara in amazement. Adi Shankara established 4 mathas in 4 corners of India: Sringeri in south, Badri in north, Dwarka in west, and Puri in east to achieve the dream of cultural unity of ancient India. About 1200 years ago, Adi Shankara founded the Matha at Sringeri with Sharadamba, goddess of learning, as the presiding deity. Shankara consecrated Sri Chakra at the Sharada temple. In fact, the worship of Sri Chakra became quite popular from the time of Adi Shankaracharya. Shankara installed an unbroken succession of illustrious gurus for the propagation and the protection of our ancient culture, heritage, and Sanatana Dharma. Sringeri. Sringeri, or Rishyasringagiri of the Ramayana fame, is a renowned center of pilgrimage, and this hallowed place is situated on the bank of the river Tunga in Chikkamangaluru district, Karnataka state, India. The mountain ranges, valleys, green forests, and the crystal water of the river Tunga have created a pleasant atmosphere in this place. Establishment of Vijayanagara. The establishment of Vijayanagara kingdom and the role of Sringeri Jagadgurus, Sri Vidya Tirtha, Sri Bharathi Krishna Tirtha, and Sri Vidyaranya, 10th, 11th, and 12th Gurus, respectively, opened a new and bright chapter both in the history of Karnataka as well as Sringeri Sharada Peetham. It was while Sri Vidyaranya was performing penance at Matanga Hill near Hampi, the 2 warrior Sangama brothers, Harihara and Bukka, approached him. The 2 brothers fell at the feet of Vidyaranya and requested him to guide them to realize their cherished dream. Visualizing their genuine concern of establishing a state based upon Indian ideals and tradition, Vidyaranya took both the brothers to his fold and enlightened them on the modalities of establishing a dharmic state, the city of righteousness. Presumably, Vidyaranya taught them the fundamental unity of the country. Thus, Harihara and Bukka followed the guidance provided by Vidyaranya, and a new empire was born, in 1336 AD on the banks of Tungabhadra near Anegundi. Placed at Vidyaranya's feet all his imperial insignia, and henceforth the Sringeri Jagadgurus came to be addressed as Karnataka Simhasana Pratishthapanacharya. The sage Vidyaranya bestowed on him the titles of Srimad Rajadhiraja Parameshwara Apratima Pratapa Veera Narapati. With the establishment of Vijayanagara, Sringeri Matha assumed greater prominence and importance. The Vijayanagara kings directly became the patrons of Sringeri, and pontiffs were given a special status by referring to them as Rajaguru. This, indeed, a significant development, and the Swamijis of Sringeri from now on became the protectors of Karnataka kingdom and became the religious guides of the successive kingdoms far and wide. All these features are evidenced by the contemporary Vijayanagara records on copper plates and stones. Harihara II was also a great devotee of Sringeri Peetham and naturally continued the patronage to Sringeri Matha. King Harihara II honored the Swamiji by offering royal insignia such as Chhatra, Shankha Chakra, Dundubhi, Gante, throne, palanquin, and a pair of golden sandals studded with gems as a mark of respect to the Swamiji. A unique and rare stone sculpture called Chaturmurti Vidyeshwara, established in Sringeri, bears Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, and fourth side Sri Tirtha with his two disciples Sri Bharathi Tirtha and Sri Vidyaranya, which dates back to the period of Vijayanagara. In 1338 AD, a magnificent stone temple of exquisite architecture was built by Sri Vidyaranya with the help of Vijayanagara kings, which is presently a national monument. This temple, dedicated to Sri Tirtha Swamiji of Sringeri, still stands as a main evidence on the relationship between Sringeri Peetham and Vijayanagara kings. Once the Vijayanagara emperors began to patronize the pontiffs of Sringeri, the contemporary powers thought it their duty to follow this example if they wanted to prosper. This placed Sringeri in a wider canvas and helped the Matha to become a premier spiritual institution in India. The Keladi Nayakas, Peshwa, Marathas, Mysuru Wadeyars, Travancore rulers, Nizams of Hyderabad, Tippu Sultan and Hyder Ali and others followed the footsteps of the Vijayanagara emperors as far as patronage to Hinduism in general and Sringeri in particular. The Keladi king Venkatappa Nayaka invited Sri Abhinava Narasimha Bharathi to his capital at Ikkeri in 1600 AD and honored him and gave a land grant and other rich presents. In appreciation of the interest in the development of Sringeri Matha taken by the king Venkatappa Nayaka, the Jagadguru blessed him and honored him with the titles Re-establisher of Sringeri, that is Sringeri Punar Pratisthapaka, and establisher of Advaita philosophy, that is Advaita Siddhanta Pratipadaka. Keladi Shivappa Nayaka was one of the ablest chiefs of Keladi. As soon as he became the king, he began to patronage the Sringeri Matha as testified by 4 letters and 3 inscriptions issued by him in favor of Sringeri. Overwhelmed by the holy personality of Sri Abhinava Sachidananda Bharati, Basappa Nayaka's wife, Queen Veerammaji, made a gift of a rare crystal Ishwaralinga and an image of Gopalakrishna studded with rubies and made plenty of land grants. Peshwa Balaji Bajirao, Peshwa Madhavarao, Peshwa Raghunatha devotion to Sringeri Jagadgurus is attested to by several historical letters. During the regime of Sri Ugra Narasimha Bharathi in the period of 1817 to 1879, Maharaja Tukoji Rao Holkar of Indore showed high respect and expressed the very presence of the Swamiji would usher prosperity in the land. Maharaja of Jamakandi, Ramachandra Patuvardhana, offered a silver throne of rare workmanship and a unique diamond necklace to Sringeri Jagadguru with a great devotion. Another important development during the pontificate of Sri Abhinava Sachidananda Bharathi Swamiji is the devotion shown to the Matha by Muslim rulers. After defeating the Keladi Nayakas, Hyder Ali established his kingdom. He found that there was universal devotion to the Sringeri Jagadgurus. In 1760 AD, he wrote a letter to the Swamiji. The letter is couched in respectful language and starts with salutation to the Swamiji. Hyder Ali wrote, "You are a great and holy person, and naturally everyone would like to have your darshan and blessings." Tipu Sultan's devotion to Sri Sachidananda Bharathi manifested itself in many ways. He presented to the Swamiji a rare crystal Ishwaralinga with Pache Mantapa and a necklace called Makarakanthi Hara. Tipu wrote to Sringeri Jagadguru that "You are a great person, and prosperity in the form of timely rains attend on you, and hence all people want your presence." He also urged the Swamiji to perform Sahasra Chandi Japa for the good of the people. Nizam Ali Khan of Hyderabad was a patron of Sringeri Jagadguru Sri Tritiya Sachidananda Bharathi. Nizam Ali Khan and Nizam ul Mulk presented a rare crown studded with rubies, emeralds and diamonds to Sringeri Jagadguru. This priceless crown stands as an evidence which shows the relationship between Sringeri Peetham and the Asaf Shahi dynasty of Hyderabad. The political scene of Mysore state and South India changed considerably with the death of Tipu Sultan in 1799 AD. The British became more powerful and the Mysore state was restored to Mummadi Krishnaraja Vadeyar. But he was a boy and naturally Diwan Purnaya was appointed as the regent. Though he was a follower of Dvaita school of philosophy, he acquitted himself the credibility in patronizing the Advaita Matha at Sringeri. He wrote several letters with regard to Sringeri Matha, of which 8 are directly addressed to the Swamiji. Diwan Purnaya proclaimed that whenever Sringeri Jagadguru went on tours, all the officers of the government should render security and accompany the entourage of the Swamiji. In 1831, Governor-General Lord William Bentinck placed Mysore under the administration of British commissioners. British Commissioner Sir Mark Cubbon declared in 1837 that no appeal would lie to government against orders passed by the Matha, and also decided that the revenue returns need not be submitted to government by the authorities of Sringeri Samsthanam, which could freely exercise its time-honoured privileges. In a memorandum, British Commissioner Bowring said that the Guru, as the head of the Smartha faith, has always been treated with peculiar honours enjoyed by no other spiritual preceptor. The Sringeri Guru is the acknowledged spiritual director not only of the greater proportions of the Hindus of South India, but also those leading Maratha houses such as Holkar and the former Peshwas. It may be said that his influence is far greater than any spiritual guide in India, and I presume it is for this reason that he is regarded with such unlimited respect. Mysore Maharaja Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar's British tutor, Mr. Fraser, visited Sringeri Samsthanam in 1898 to obtain the Jagadguru's blessings before assuming the reins of administration. The cordial relationship between Sringeri Sharada Peetham and the Mysuru Samsthana has become a golden chapter in the history of Sringeri Matha as well as Mysore dynasty. The successors of Mysore Yaduvamsha till today has continued the historical relationship of 3 centuries. The Maharaja Mummadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar of Mysore was the contemporary to Sri Tritiya Sachidananda Bharathi Swamiji of Sringeri succession. The Maharaja always referred to the Sringeri Swamiji as Rajaguru and adhered to the advice and guidance given by the Jagadguru. Maharaja continued the devotion to the Sringeri Samsthanam with greater vigor as attested to by 60 letters. Mummadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar looked upon Sri Ugra Narasimha Bharathi as a god incarnate and always sought his blessings for the welfare of himself and his subjects. Repeatedly, he requested the Swamiji to visit Mysore Palace and stay there as his guest. The Maharaja offered a book titled Devata Nama Kusumanjali to the Guru. Maharaja Mummadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar showed interest in elevating himself spiritually under the guidance of Sri Narasimha Bharathi Swamiji. The Swamiji paid a visit to Mysore Palace in 1854 and initiated the Maharaja into the study of a sacred text known as Shiva Gita, which the Maharaja considered as a great act of benediction over him by the Jagadguru. The valuable crown of rare intricate workmanship studded with Navaratna gifted to Sringeri Jagadguru as a token of devotion by the Maharaja Mummadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar shows the deep historical relationship between Sringeri Peetham and Mysuru Samsthana. Maharaja also presented a golden palanquin which is still in use during Dasara procession in Sringeri. Sri Sachidananda Shivabhinava Narasimha Bharathi Swamiji, the 33rd Pontiff of Sringeri Sharada Peetha, is regarded as the reincarnation of Adi Shankara. He was a great scholar and was one of the most illustrious pontiffs of Sringeri Sharada Peetha. He was a son of one of the greatest Sanskrit scholars in the court of His Highness Mummadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar, Kunigal Rama Shastri. Diwan of Mysore, Sheshadri Iyer, was a staunch devotee of Sringeri Sharada Peetham and Jagadguru, and he succeeded in finding the site of the ancient Agrahara in Kaladi, the birthplace of Adi Shankara. Another significant historical letter from Diwan Sheshadri Iyer to Sri Sachidananda Bharathi of Sringeri inform about the celebration of 60th anniversary of British Queen Victoria and the letter of benediction sent by the Sringeri Swamiji through the resident of Mysore to the Queen Victoria of London. The Queen dispatched her acknowledgement to Sringeri Guru through the Secretary of India and Colonel Robertson, the British resident of Mysore. The Maharaja of Travancore dynasty, Moolam Ramavarma, his Diwan V.P. Madhavrao, and Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar of Mysore helped Sringeri Jagadguru to build temples for Adi Shankara at Kaladi in Kerala state. During the installation ceremony of Sri Sharadamba and Adi Shankara at Kaladi in Kerala state, Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar of Mysore was honoured by the Jagadguru with the title Dharma Moola on 21st February 1910. At the invitation of Sri Chamaraja Wadiyar of Mysore, Sri Jagadguru Sachidananda Shivabhinava Nrsimha Bharathi stayed in Mysore Palace in 1891. In 1885, His Highness Chamarajendra Wadiyar of Mysore visited Sringeri Matha accompanied by his Diwan and British resident Mr. Galiston. During this visit, the 33rd Jagadguru of Sringeri, Sri Sachidananda Shivabhinava Narasimha Bharathi Swamiji, presented the Maharaja of Mysore a crown studded with precious stones and diamonds. Even today, this Sringeri crown is worshipped in palace during Dasara festival by the successive Maharajas of Mysore Samsthana, which throws light on the history of Sringeri and Mysore relationship. On the auspicious day of 7th of April 1912, before a huge gathering of devotees and Sri Madhavrao, the Diwan representing the Maharaja of Mysore, Narasimha took up sannyasa and got the new name Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati. Thus, he became the 34th pontiff of Sringeri Matha. As soon as he assumed the leadership of the Matha, he had set before himself two goals. The first was to propagate Dharma through spiritual guidance, and second was to realize the self. The latter included withdrawing from the outer world and performing the yoga, which is helpful for the realization of the self. That is why his fame spread far and wide. Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Swamiji performed the Kumbhabhishekam of the newly built Sharadamba temple at Sringeri in 1916. The importance of the occasion can be gauged by the presence of the Maharaja Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar of Mysore. At the invitation of Maharaja Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar, the Jagadguru paid a visit to Mysore city in 1924. As this was the first visit of the Swamiji, the citizens of Mysore gathered in large numbers and paid their respectful salutations to him. He inaugurated Shankar Matha opposite to the Mysore palace. Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Swamiji's teachings are permanent contribution to the world of spirituality. In fact, his life itself is an epitome of this great philosophy. During 1954 and 1989, Sri Abhinava Vidyatirtha Swamiji ruled the throne of transcendental wisdom of Sringeri Samsthana. King Mahendra of Nepal requested the Swamiji to pay visit to Nepal. Accepting the royal invitation, the Swamiji went to Kathmandu and stayed for some days. During the regime of Jagadguru Sri Abhinava Vidyatirtha Swamiji, who was the 35th Guru of Sringeri Jagadgurus, there were innumerable occasions when the Maharaja of Mysore, Sri Jayachamarajendra Odayar, sought the blessings of His Holiness. His Holiness arrived at Mysore on 18th of January 1962. At the outskirts of the city, His Holiness was welcomed by His Highness Maharaja of Mysore and was presented with a baby elephant named Urmila. Sri Vidyatirtha Swamiji was conducted to the palace in a golden palanquin with Purna Kumbha and was offered Pada Puja in the palace according to the time-honoured customs by Sri Jayachamarajendra Odayar along with the members of the royal family who sought the blessings of the Guru. In this rare occasion, Sringeri Jagadguru honoured the Maharaja of Mysore with the title Guru Bhaktavatamsa. In an address on Sringeri and Shankara by His Highness Sri Jayachamarajendra Odayar on the auspicious occasion of laying the foundation of Shankara Advaita Vidyashrama in the divine presence of Sri Vidyatirtha Swamiji in New Delhi on 20th November 1966, the Maharaja said, "I myself have derived great pleasure in following the footsteps of my forefathers who were all disciples of the Sringeri Matha. Also, it has been my good fortune to have the present Swamiji, Sri Abhinava Vidyatirtha, as my spiritual Guru and to have received numerous blessings from him." His Highness Sri Kanthadatta Narasimharaja Odayar, son of Sri Jayachamarajendra Odayar, continued to maintain his contact with Sringeri Jagadgurus and paid innumerable visits to Sringeri to seek the blessings of the Sringeri Jagadguru from time to time. During 2003, Sri Srikanthadatta Narasimharaja Odayar invited Sringeri Jagadguru Sri Bharathi Tirtha Mahasannidhana to Mysore Palace and performed Pada Puja to his Guru with the Maharani Pramoda Devi Odayar and presented His Holiness with royal gifts. Sri Bharathi Tirtha Mahasannidhana is the 36th Jagadguru in the resplendent, unbroken Guru Parampara of Sringeri Peetham and known for his extraordinary scholarship and supreme command over Sanskrit language, Shastras, Vedanta and philosophy. Whenever Sri Bharathi Tirtha Swamiji visited Mysore, Sri Srikanthadatta Narasimharaja Odayar of Mysore Samsthana arranged a royal reception to respect his Rajguru and conducted to the palace of Mysore in a silver chariot driven by bullocks and a grand procession led by elephants, royal horse, Shweta Chhatra, Mangalavadya and other royal insignias as a time-honoured customs. Even today, Sringeri Jagadgurus receive kanikes from the successors of various royal dynasties across India as a token of reverence during Sharan Navaratri festival and also during special occasions. The Dasara Darbar performed in Sringeri during auspicious Dasara festival till today witnesses the 7th century relationship between Sringeri Matha and the Vijayanagara dynasty, and also it has kept the century-old practices of the tradition alive and vibrant. Even today, the royal descendants of Mysore receive prasadam sent from the Sringeri Sharada Peetham during ceremonial Mysore Darbar performed in Amba Vilasa Palace. Brahma Shri Vellore Subramanya Shastri, served as a professor of Vedanta at the Sringeri Jagadgurus. He was a great erudite scholar. He was awarded the title of Shruti Shirobhushanam by Sri Jagadguru Chandrasekhara Bharathi in 1916. Mahamahopadhyaya Vellore Subramanya Shastri was also Asthana Vidwan in the court of His Highness Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar, the Maharaja of Mysuru. Another ornament of Sringeri Jagadgurus was Sri Vellore Ramachandra Shastri, the son of Vellore Subramanya Shastri, served as a professor in Sringeri Pathashala. He was a recipient of the titles Vidyanidhi from the Jagadguru Mahaswamiji of Sringeri, Panditaraja from the Maharaja of Cochin, and Panditaratnam from the Maharaja of Mysuru. Presently, Sri V.R. Ravishankar, the grandson of Sri Vellore Subramanya Shastri and the son of Sri Vellore Ramachandra Shastri, is serving Sri Sringeri Jagadgurus as an administrator and CEO. He is the recipient of titles Guru Seva Dhurina from Sri Bharathi Tirtha Mahasanidhanam and Padma Shri from the Government of India. All these matters emerges as a fine living example and a testimony to how Sringeri Mahasamsthanam and the dynasty of Mysore are interlinked from generations to generation and kept the heritage vibrant and alive. In this way, from the Vijayanagara period down to the modern times, the various secular heads like the Vijayanagar emperors, the Keladi rulers, the Maratha chieftains, the Muslim rulers, the Wadiyars of Mysore, kings of Nepal, British commissioners patronized the Sringeri Matha and revered Sringeri Jagadgurus and Sringeri Matha. The Sringeri Jagadgurus has been distinguished by unbroken succession of Jagadgurus well known for their spiritual eminence, learning, erudition and piety. A galaxy of illustrious preceptors who adorned the Sringeri Jagadgurus during the last 1200 years upheld Sanatana Dharma, which is a code of ancient Indian values, culture and tradition. Sringeri Jagadgurus have been practicing and propagating the path of righteousness, truth and wisdom and guiding the royal heads and their subjects for the establishment of harmony, peace, social and cultural unity of the country.